Welcome back to the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. We're brought to you by Pelican, built tough for all situations. Go to pelican.com. Yak Gadget, for all your fine kayak fishing accessory needs. Go to yakgadget.com. Eastport Marina, on the beautiful shores of Dale Hollow Lake. For all your lodging, kayaking, and fishing needs, go to eastport.info.
Now let's get this show started.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Chasing the Tide, your saltwater connection on the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. I'm your host, Dustin Nichols, back at you again, fresh off the road. I'm talking, and when I say road, I mean road, 1,900 miles each way, maybe away from Texas up to Connecticut. Thank you, Three Bells, for bringing me up there, fishing that little salty showdown with the trifecta there. Pretty fun fishery up there. Definitely heartbroken by a couple of big stripers in the rocks. So, yeah, fun times with that. Caught plenty of fluke and sea robins. Actually took the sea robin division win. So, didn't come away empty-handed. So, it was a fun trip, you know. It's always fun to go explore new water and check things out that you're not accustomed to and adapt to them. And, you know, it was pretty fun. Definitely a fun trip. Water was 69 degrees. How about that? You know, temperatures in the upper 60s to low to mid 80s for the daytime highs. And it was fun. Just a couple cool bass ponds around the area, and everything else was really fun. Great seafood. Want to give a shout out to Flanders Seafood Market. They took care of me there. If this doesn't speak volumes, you know, it's being a lot of people might not know. I worked as a chef for a long time. Before I started at the chemical plant I'm at now. And I ate at that restaurant 4 nights in a row. That should say something right there. So, yeah, great place, great people. And then once again, you know, Three Bells brought me over there to come check out the area. And they have a great facility there at their marina and outfitters. Lots of kayaks and accessories. So y'all give them a look too. But we're back to the show. Back again with Chasing the Tide. We got a return guest here. We got a repeat offender coming back for a second time with us. We got Chris Castro on, and I'm going to go ahead and bring him in. What's going on, man? What's up?
Man? Repeat offender. I like it.
Repeat offender. No doubt. Yep. That's how it is, man. So what's been going on with you?
Man, just busy fishing, you know, just trying to live the dream, tell stories, improving the craft. Offshore, inshore, the whole all water stuff, trying to learn how to bass fish.
I know, right? We're going to have to get together on that one.
I really do need to pick your brain on that one because I have so many questions, dude, about that. And I guess we can get, into that a little later, but
we can go into that some too. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Doubt. I mean, I don't know. The patterns and the stuff like that are crazy. It's eerily similar to trout fishing, but there's a lot more to it. I shouldn't say there's a little bit more to it. Right. There really is a lot more to it. It's complex. I love it. And that's what's been kind of occupying me a little bit more as far as what's new. But I'm still doing the same old, man. Still doing the same old.
Yeah. You've had quite a few windows, some offshore action. We've had
so
I've here and there.
I've hit about a dozen trips so far, and I'm loaded and stacked with some offshore footage that I'm obviously producing, but it's I'm slowly releasing it. It's the direction and the energy of my YouTube channel this year is taking a little bit of a turn as far as the type of story, what I'm trying to tell, and so I'm trying to find my groove on it. But when I find it and I can nail it, got some good stuff coming that I'll probably be ready to talk about here in about a year and a half, maybe. So, yeah.
Shoot, yeah, man. Well, for those of you that if you didn't catch the show before, why don't you go ahead and give a little backstory, let everybody know what you got going on.
Yeah, man. So
and stuff like that for everybody.
Well, what's new, right? So as far as the way I construct my YouTube stuff, it's changed a lot, right, in the last 5 years or so. Started off as a cookie cutter YouTuber, man, just going out there with the camera, filming.
Yeah.
And once I figured out how to fish with a camera, obviously with the help of a lot of different friends along the way. I got into the groove of, just trophy fishing, capturing some extremely unique moments that are rarely seen on the Gulf Coast, both offshore and inshore. But I've always harped on myself on how I'm going to tell a story. Fishing is all about stories. It's even in a tournament scene, Dustin, like when we go to weigh in, we're there to talk to people, see how everybody's day has gone, whether we've done well or not. Like it's just the camaraderie aspect, right? So I try and translate that into my storytelling, but obviously in a different light. We're not tournament fishing, but we're trying to capture these unique moments. And what's going on this year, compared to years past, which was, I have different spin-off series, right? I have a tournament edition. I have a trophy trout edition that's specifically about trophy trout. I have an offshore series. I have a catch and cook series. There's some behind the scenes. It's more of like a blog, just run and go filming, not really high production. It's just literally like a vlog. And then I have my Top Gear series, which is where I just I go after and just review some of the latest and greatest stuff that's out there. So the new one this year, once I retire a few of those, is about telling a story that I think needs to be told. And, there's beautiful production out there. You being part of one of them on Redding's video. I think that's Heliconia that's producing all that.
The road trip angler.
Yeah, the road trip angler. Heliconia's always done a great job at. I mean, they're top of the food chain in my eyes, as far as
they also do the Chad Hoover fishing.
Exactly.
TV
Yeah, they do.
show.
They do a few. They've done gyms. They've
they did gyms.
Exactly, and they've always done a great job at telling that story in their style. What I'm trying to do is with this new series is I'm trying to really dig deep into the culture. It's probably not for everybody, right? There's some videos out there that probably cater more towards the guy coming into the sport. What I want to do though is I want to cater and tell the story. Exactly, man. Tell the story of the guys who are grinding, the guys who don't really have or want a voice, the guys that put in the sweat, blood, and tears to do things. What are their experiences? And I've gone through a lot of things, and it's not a controversial series at all. It's just about the struggle and the realities of kayak fishing from a, how should I say this, from a junkie's perspective, but I don't mean that in a bad way. Right? By junkie, I mean somebody who's just in it. They're in the trenches. They are a kayak angler. And so I want to tell that story. And it's been difficult because there's a little bit of emotion involved in it. There's a lot of passion in that as far as coming from me, because I've been that guy. I mean, that's how I got here, working. I didn't just, go out there and try and purposely try and catch fish that are going to be giving me clout, right? It just happened through effort and putting myself on that field. So now that I've got all these things sort of put together, I think it's time to tell that story, and I'm going to try and perfect it and get it improved in the next few years, and I think that style might take me somewhere that I haven't gone before. So there's just
definitely some background drama in kayak fishing.
There's a little bit, and I think
there's some drama.
And I think exactly, man. And those are the stories that I think they go sort of untold, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's a mature way to handle the situation, and but more so than that, I think there are lessons to be learned if you know how to tell that story. And not only just lessons as far as fishing, but there's life lessons involved in that as well. So that's kind of what I'm trying to capture and go for. And I'm trying to bring everybody in with me that I know, people like you, other podcasters, because let's face it, man. I mean, you cannot describe kayak fishing in one video.
No, you sure can't.
It's deserving of a video, a conversation, a series. It's a story.
Yeah,
it's a full-fledged story that has multiple chapters and a lot of different dimensions, and there's a lot of different personality, right? And so I've gotten with guys like you to slowly drip little bits of information so that when they watch one of my episodes, and if they want to dig a little bit more into what I'm trying to say, they go to these podcasts and they can have that conversation with me and you.
Yep.
You know,
For sure.
so it's different, and it probably sounds a little confusing to some who are hearing this for the first time, but let it marinate a little bit and let's see where it goes. I think
Follow
it's going to be
along.
exciting.
Yeah. Next Level
exactly.
Fishing TV. Yep.
Yeah.
You'll see it unravel there.
So that's
For
sort of
sure.
the new direction of
New direction there.
of
Yep.
NLF TV, or rather, I should say series. Because I have multiple directions. I try and keep at least 3 to 4 series alive a year. Some of them I retire. Like I've retired the tournament series one, which did great.
Yeah.
Did really good. But you know, you can only do that for so long, right?
You can always keep the chase for the 30 alive. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That one can stay alive. Even if you catch one, you can still try to catch another one.
Well, people are smart, man. You know, I mean, I think I did 8 tournament series ones, right? And people are smart. They especially anglers that know what to look for. You know, they'll figure stuff out. You know what I mean? They'll
even
figure stuff
without
out.
the launch areas, some backgrounds you can figure stuff out.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And it comes at layers. You know, to some it may be like he just gave it away, but to somebody who's never been there, you probably wouldn't know. So videos, backgrounds, and controversial stuff can bite at different anglers different ways depending if they've been there before. So I closed that one out at 8. Not that I had received uncomfortable pressure, but just the fact that I know where it'll eventually go.
Well, there's already enough YouTubers out there spot burning for likes. Anyway.
Yeah, see, I've never been about
You've never
that.
been that way for sure.
Never have, man. I've always wanted to tell the story. You know, I mean, I get it. It's convenient, right, to do that and be a Patreon guy. I mean, people in different industries do that and are extremely successful at it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You know, more power to them. But I don't conduct myself in that business because I'm a fisherman first and a YouTuber second.
True.
And that's, I've never had to remind myself about that, but I do have to make sure that I stay that way because I'm not trying to be that guy.
Yeah. I mean, you can give away spots all day or have people pay on Patreon to follow your spots and get them. But the info that you put out there with the techniques and the tips and everything is far more, what do you say?
Beneficial, I think.
Beneficial.
I mean, you just got to listen.
There's so much more worth in what you put out there.
Yeah, no,
than giving away spots. Yeah,
100%. I'd rather, if I'm going to give something away, it's going to give my thought process. And I think that can go. I mean, fish move exactly.
Conditions change, water temperature, wind, barometric pressure, so many things. So lunar periods, all that good stuff. Yeah.
And it all stacks. All those variables stack, and if you get variable A and B, well, this may play out, but then you infuse a third variable, and now everything's different. And that's the fun part of fishing. And I'd rather people see that part of it, because that's the real side of fishing. And
that is the real side of it.
I think that's why we all watch some of the OGs, man. Look at Bill Dance. Look at these guys that, I mean, they're hilarious. They're fun to watch. But if you really watch their old school stuff, man, and you listen to what they're doing, you can learn a lot by not looking at a spot. It's just the nature of the beast as far as their mindset, and I think that's more valuable than ever before. And I think it's time we get back to that. So
true. Definitely agree on that one. Yeah, man. So you've had some windows for offshore, and it seems like it's been pretty good. You put up some solid snapper. You had some good kings. And
I've been on some really good snapper
stuff
this year.
Yeah.
I have the kings. I got one good 50.
Yeah, one good one. Yeah, 50.
Yeah. A lot of the kings this year, though, man, on the coast have been a little skinny.
No.
We are coming up into prime time, though, so I'm curious. This will be the teller if the kingfish bite really is just a matter of lack of quality due to shortness of windows, or if it's really bad this year.
Yeah, and we'll tell that. Couple weeks we have Ray Del Mar.
We do. What is that? Is that the 14th or 12th?
Yeah, 13th, 14th, or whatever the week.
Okay.
Not this weekend, but the next weekend.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's a week from Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah. And
8 days away. Saturday, Sunday is inshore division, and then the offshore division. And I work. Go figure.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I probably ain't.
You're not going to be there?
I probably won't make it.
Oh man.
I got to turn around and go to Okeechobee on the 17th. for a
You
bass
can't
tournament,
just
for a bass event.
dress up somebody to be like you and just show up.
Maybe.
Michael.
Yeah, somebody. I don't know. I really wanted to fish it though, for sure.
It'll be fun,
Dude,
man.
if I do, I can only fish one day. It won't be both.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of low on days right now, so I got to watch
Yeah.
what I use them for. I got to have some to go to Okeechobee with too.
Yeah.
So, it's one of them deals. So
Cobia have been around.
Yeah.
I was hoping for some record cobia this year, like a monster. I was
like the one
low key predicting a 60-incher plus.
Yeah.
Because of all the boat reports. But
some good ones.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Glenn had a nightmare story that I just heard about.
Oh.
Yeah.
Professional salt, huh?
Yeah.
Something go wrong
boarded,
out there?
yeah. So he boarded one on his kayak. One of the biggest cobias that he is seeing. And apparently, don't quote me on this because I'm trying to remember this, but I think it got on his lap and it went berserker.
Mm-hmm.
The hooks stayed in his thigh.
Oh.
There goes my dogs. They didn't like that.
It's all good.
And he had to pull hooks out.
Dang.
And he lost the cobia. Dude, cobia are scary, dude. I jokingly post these like post on Facebook, with the axe. I don't know if you saw that, but I posted an axe and I was like, everyone wants to catch a cobia. Do they catch a cobia? But there's a little bit of truth behind that, dude. Those are scary fish to handle on a small boat.
They're even worse than the kingfish, if you ask me.
No, they're 10 times worse, man, because sometimes they do snap out of that paleness. You can beat them down and they'll they've gone white, typically means they're dead. But if you don't get them white enough, they'll start getting that color back and they'll start rejuvenating. And dude, they're extremely dangerous.
Strong too. Yeah,
very
when they
strong.
they flip out. Yeah, they don't play. They don't play.
Yeah, but we'll see. I haven't seen anything super crazy impressive this year. I'm hoping somebody can yank out something where it's like, heck yeah, man.
Yeah,
So
another sailfish.
We're waiting on it. We've got prime. Well, there's sailfish. Actually, believe it or not, Dustin, there's actually sailfish caught probably once a year, maybe a couple of times a year, but they're real small.
Yeah.
They're the last one was probably that I had seen personally was probably about 3 foot. Just cool photo. But he's a low key guy, man. There's so many offshore guys that are low key. They don't really get and dabble into the social media side. But I'm good friends with a lot of them, man, and they'll relay some information or hearsay stuff
here and there. Yep.
Yeah. They're there. They show up. It's just I don't think they have they do have it. They used to have a pattern, from what I understand. From what I understand, they used to have a pattern off the jetties back in the tarpon days when we were infested. But that's back in the black and white picture days, man.
Yeah,
lots has changed.
Been a minute.
Sure. Been a minute.
So, what all say like somebody new out there might want to journey into the offshore abyss. Definitely, one thing I can suggest is don't go at it alone. Buddy system goes a long way. Any other safety pointers you want to give some people, radio wise and anything like that, that would be great for some of the listeners that might want to venture off.
There's a lot there. You almost, it's tough. You can prepare for it all, but you're still never guaranteed out there. That's what I always tell guys. You got to understand the risk with offshore kayak fishing. There's so many little things that can go wrong, but a good starting point, first off, is don't worry about the fish. The fish are going to come. Always go in with a single rod or just prepare yourself with a single rod.
Yeah.
Don't go out there with all these crazy rods flinging everywhere, because I can tell you where 95% of the anglers are going to make a mistake that take 4 rods out for the first few trips, which I'll come back to that later. But as far as just readiness, obviously, me and you, Dustin, we always harp on PFDs or having in the past, and I don't want to beat that horse, but that's a no-brainer.
That's no-brainer.
Make sure you have to have your life jacket.
Not just in the boat. It's on your person.
Right. No, it needs to be on you. I think we've gone a little too far in advancing PFDs to where we can't really use that whole comfort thing as an excuse.
No.
or guys can't. There's a
Yeah.
PFD for everybody out there, and you just need to find out one that works
And
for
spend the money and buy NRS or the other brands that sell them stole
you.
boys.
Yeah, something that's good, something that's reliable.
My choice is NRS.
NRS, yeah, man. They've been in the game for a
sure.
while, and they cater towards whitewater kayak anglers.
And kayak
They know the business
PFDs,
for sure.
For sure. Yep.
Also, I would say, a bilge pump can go a long way. I can't tell you how many. I would say, how do I put this? It's more than I have fingers right now. Definitely over 10, well over 10 of any rescues that I've done in the last 5 years could have been avoided with a bilge pump.
An electric bilge pump in the hole, or a
Just
handheld
a
one?
small handheld.
Just a small handheld one.
Yeah,
Yep.
Sometimes, actually, all of them that I've
There you
dealt
go
with that I
again.
can remember.
NRS makes a great one of those.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it's a small little intrusion. Sometimes it's a small little fracture. Sometimes you tightened your kayak a little too tight and you caused a little stress fracture somewhere. And you'd be amazed that it's a slow trickle. It's not as crazy but by the time you realize it, it's too late. And it could be dealt with the bilge pump. Even if it's just a handheld, man, those things you can get at it with that. So PFD, bilge pump, buddy system, a float plan, your VHF radio is super important in communication. Down here in Texas, if you guys are listening, we always all communicate off of channel 69.
69, yes,
and,
sir.
That's you should have that. Yeah.
Yep. And dry bag with some, a change of clothes, maybe a rain suit.
Yeah. So
maybe
there's
some flares in there,
absolutely.
Yep.
I mean, for the most part, our water is pretty dang warm, but if you're going to be pushing some cold stuff and going after some of the uniquer species, you're going to want to have, which, dude, I've got a nice bodysuit from NRS, dude.
I know.
I'm
right?
dying to kind of debut
in the wintertime. Yeah, definitely.
Well, even for offshore, man, it's legit.
Yeah.
So I'll be debuting that this year. What else, man? You know what? And also just make sure your kayak it's sound. Doable.
Yeah.
And
there's
sound.
A lot of rip and a lot of current out there that might catch you off guard too. So if you aren't accustomed, your drive fails and you can't paddle or something else of that nature, that's something to think about also.
Yeah. Make sure you're in a kayak that has big water in mind. Dude.
Yep. And a good GPS system, just so you know where you're at.
For sure.
Conjunction, where you're launched, man. And all that good stuff. Yeah. There's a bunch of, there's just so many things you think about and then you kind of think again. He's like, oh, this comes to mind now.
There is, dude. And there's not many kayaks that can handle some of the wickedness that the Texas coast brings. I mean, we
spur of the moment weather.
Yeah. We have a unique fishery in the sense that there's a lot of quality, but Mother Nature protects it. We don't have a lot of windows here in Texas.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot, maybe a little bit over, I would say 15 to 18, like perfect conditions.
Perfect. Yeah.
And I would say maybe another 15, 20 of some advanced stuff.
Yeah.
And, once you cross that advanced mark, there's very little kayaks that can actually handle it, or you just got to be prepared to flip in the surf. So how I began with the whole rod thing and keeping it simple, I'll end it like this, Dustin. Man, break your stuff down. If you cannot, the surf. So the most dangerous part about Texas offshore kayak fishing isn't so much out there. It's actually in the surf. I've seen guys get stabbed.
Oh yeah.
I've seen guys get clothes ripped off. I've seen hooks in strange places. I've seen a lot of injuries in the surf, man. I've never seen very many injuries offshore. I've seen way more in the surf, and I always harp on that part and that aspect.
Your rods.
And
take
that's
your
all about
take your lures
exactly
off.
Prep, man. Don't be going in, through the surf, especially if it's gnarly, with anything rigged up behind you, man. Just get out there and rig it, man. Don't take long to tie a knot.
It doesn't take long.
Doesn't take long, and it's worth it, dude.
They make great swivels too out there that you can, quick connect and different things here and there. I mean, I've fished with them before, out there also. It's not that big of a deal, or just tie your stuff out there once you're out there. It beats getting, hooked through the neck or something, and just prep everything, stow them in your kayak, strap them down.
It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it, man. Ram Garcia has a good story about that one.
Oh.
I went out there and swam to his rescue. Boomy followed behind me. I don't know if you know Scott,
Yeah,
but
I know the name. Yeah.
So Ram had a hook jammed in his heel,
Oh.
and every time the surf crashed over him, it was dipping and pulling in deeper and deeper.
Oh.
And I went out there to go rescue him and cut his lines, dude.
Yeah.
Early lesson from my buddy Ram, and
Yeah.
he'll never forget it. Actually, he hasn't been on the water since. He hasn't been offshore
Can't be
since
back there
that
again.
day.
Yep.
Yeah,
Break that
man.
stuff down. That's
And you
one of
don't
the
want to
biggest
go
tips
through that.
I would say right there.
You
Yeah.
do not want to go through that, man.
Yep.
It's sketchy. It's scary. So do your homework and go
Yep.
with somebody who is going to be about that safety.
Yeah. Don't just pick just any place to launch. Look at the surf.
Yeah.
Look
at the
at
surf.
what's doing.
Mhm.
The places the
tides.
waves are breaking or where those bars are at. You're
Yeah.
going to have rips in between them. There might be some deeper guts around. You're going to be able to get out a little easier.
Yeah. And try and keep, if you're a newcomer into it, don't break over 2 feet. I know 2 feet is cake for a lot of guys that are probably listening. And they're like, oh, well, I'm not going to flip in 2 feet. But yeah, you'd be surprised.
Surprised you.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Well, the buoy report's only, it's the biggest height for a third of the waves, the average height.
Right.
So a day it could be 2 foot, and then you'd have some 4-footers come, out of nowhere.
Yes.
Yeah. It can be unpredictable at times.
It can, man.
Definitely good info right there.
Yeah.
Shoot, yeah, man. So yeah, you've been on some pretty good snapper. Oh
man, dude, the snapper's been good this year.
Jigs, like snapper slappers and stuff like that.
A little bit of both. So I've been
both?
jigging up some. I've been using some good old fashioned Carolina rigs.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes those big snapper, man. I don't know what it is, man. It's like that 30-inch trout IQ,
Mm-hmm.
if you ain't presenting it right or you ain't using the right thing, which I'm surprised, man, because I've gone over them this year and I've marked some studs. And when I drop, I can't get those dang bigger ones. So the way that I've been getting a lot of the bigger quality ones, no shame in my game, dude. I've been using a little bit of bait this year.
Yeah. Live?
Using that good old no, dead, man. Carolina rig.
Yeah.
1 to 2 ounce. Yeah, just anything. They'll hit anything
mullet
greasy.
Head. Yeah.
They'll hit it, man.
Fish.
They'll hit it, man. Even squid. Squid is good.
Squid's good. Yeah. I tip the snapper slappers with squid quite a bit. And I've had better luck. Well, I mean, it's been out of the boat too, but downsizing, to a 1.5 ounce or a 2 ounce bucktail.
Yep.
With like a grub on the back of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I got some bucktails when I was up north. S&S Tackle makes some great ones, and they're round head. They're like a ball head.
Right.
Bucktail.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they were working killer up there. I got some 1.5 ounce and 2 ounce and 3 ounce of those. So I brought them back. So I'm curious to see how they're going to respond to them. And then I got some of those gravity tackle eels that I want to try out on a bigger jig head.
I got to see those.
Those snapper eat the fool out of them too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm curious about those right there for cobia also, because cobia, that's the way we grew up in coastal Georgia, was throwing live eels at them, and they just cannot resist a live eel.
Yeah, they'll hit eels. I've hooked up on one of the eel, artificial eel. I've hooked up on one of those. I lost it to the rig legs. I've even thrown what did I throw? It was unintentional. It was the only thing I had. I was actually jigging up some Spanish mackerel.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a big old cobia. Actually, there was 3 of them. It was there was obviously the mama was in the mix.
Oh yeah.
A couple little juvies and there was one that was, I'm assuming maybe the male was a lot smaller than the female. Still a keeper though, but that female, I mean, massive. Dude, massive.
They're very
look like a shark.
Very curious.
Very, yeah. They can be you can attract them by noise.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the guys here like to tap on their kayak, put a little vibration. They'll come up. They'll come up and check you out. And that's how I had I hooked up on one of those Tsunami Slim Waves. I use those a lot for jigging. Yep. And it took, and I ended up losing that big girl to the rigs. But before I lost it to the rigs, it swam towards me when I put tension on her, and gill flared out like like a bass, dude,
Oh yeah.
and almost landed on my kayak. And I think David Villarreal was there,
Uh-huh.
and buddy of mine, San Antonio, Hispanic guy. And he was white as snow when he saw that, dude. He thought I was going in.
Mm-hmm.
It's some scary fish, man.
Oh yeah.
So he
they're
jumped
a
up,
brute.
got airborne, and David was like, "What was that?" And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Dude, that was a cobia that almost killed me." That's
Yeah,
what that was.
almost took
dude.
me out,
He's
man.
like, "Yeah, I don't want none of that, dude. Let's keep going."
Yeah, no doubt, man.
He thought it was a shark. I was like, "Nah, that's
Yeah.
not a shark. It's a cobia, man.
Yeah,
They're scary critters.
they're good eating too, though.
They're dude. Once
They
you taste
steak out
one,
really nice too.
then
yeah,
that's
grill 'em on the
man.
grill.
You stop
Tough to beat that.
you stop fishing for kings once you catch a cobia,
Oh,
and
I
you
know.
just want that meat, dude. It's prime, dude. So
Oh,
good.
yeah.
It's so hard to explain to people how good that is until they
I don't
have it.
know, man. I got a pretty good kingfish recipe. The balls, the kingfish balls, how you ball
Kingfish
them
are
out.
great, dude. They go unsaid.
Dude, I soak them in like a sriracha buttermilk for like 3-4 hours.
I'm listening.
Then I roll them in like a spicy mustard, and
Don't
then that's
stop.
then I leave the mustard on, and then batter them with that mustard on there, and fry them.
Oh, man, dude.
It's pretty good. You can doctor up the mustard, put like some blended chipotles and adobe on it, and make it spicy, or hot sauce and some Cajun seasoning. Make it like a Cajun spice mustard, and then just coat it in that mustard and roll it around in your fish fryer, your panko or whatever, and then fry it.
See, that's why I like you, Dustin. Me and you
Pretty
got the
good.
same problem, dude. We like to eat.
Like to eat, like to cook, man.
I love it,
Yeah.
man. I was actually talking about kingfish this weekend. I did a little mom and pop tourney, and
Oh yeah. Which one did you
so
do?
let me.
You did the Real Wicked?
Man, oh yeah. I almost didn't even remember. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was the Real Wicked one. So let me ask you this.
Hmm.
I'll ask. This is what I asked those guys over there. Would you try kingfish sushi? Would
Uh-huh.
you eat it raw?
I have eaten it raw before.
Where'd you get it from when you ate it raw?
We called it
In
Put
Texas?
it on ice. Uh-huh.
Okay. See, that's all right. Well, I'm with you.
And we actually the Sarah mackerel is way better.
Oh,
Like,
for
they're
sure.
smaller.
100%. Yeah.
Out of the Pacific, you do sashimi out of those, and it's beautiful.
So, okay, I've had it too, right? But I started second guessing myself because everybody was like, "What?" I was like, "No,
Mhm.
it's good. It's great." I was like, "Yeah, but
It's
you're
oily, but
catching
it's
it in
good.
Texas." I was like, "Well, okay. The waters are warmer here. Why would you want to do that?" I was like, "Man, dude, I don't know. You got a point. maybe I shouldn't be
I've done it with redfish.
You've done it with redfish?
Redfish
Okay.
crudo, yeah.
And
Yep.
we're still
Mhm.
here, right? So
Yep, still
okay.
here.
Well, those guys were then under the impression that because of the temperatures of the Texas coast, it being not cold enough, that it would you'd have to just treat it a little bit more delicately, I guess, or maybe just be careful.
Water temp in
And,
Nicaragua's upper 80s.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So those guys don't have those redfish guys don't have they don't know what they're talking about.
No.
All right, good.
I've done it with redfish before, no problem. Even this time of year, yeah.
Yeah.
As long as it's treated right, bleed it out. Bleed them out, and then put them on ice right away.
Yeah.
I don't drag them around on a stringer all day and then go make sashimi crudo out of them. No, there's no way.
Yeah. No, fresh is key for sure on that. With anything. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, the cooking side of things, dude, I'm always down for something good. Those
the snapper sushi is good
snapper.
too, man.
Oh yeah, snapper
God.
sashimi. Yeah, I can eat that all
And
day.
ceviche.
Mm-hmm.
I know you like doing ceviche.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Like that with the speckled trout too.
Yeah, ceviche is good with speckle.
Good trout. I think I've only kept a few speckled trout since the freeze.
Oh yeah.
I think I've kept a couple that were hooked and kind of not too well off.
How many did I keep this year?
I think I've caught 5 total, and I've kept
I was gonna say I
three
think I've
three
only...
redfish the last trip for the family. We ate them that evening. So
yeah. I think I have kept 5 this year.
Yeah, I'm right around there on the trout. Yeah, and I always harvest the throats on the redfish. That's some of the best meat on there. So always a good thing. Saltwater quail.
Yeah. And I think I remember trying to remember the last time I even had trout. I think it was recent, but it was, I don't know. It's so difficult, man. You want to be part of that
conservation minded.
conservation, you know, and I hesitate so much to do it, but you know, not all trout hit the lure the same to where they know they're going to survive it, and those are the ones I try and keep. You know, the ones that just get a little deep on the gill, I know they're not going to survive, and as long as they're over the new limit of 17 or the new size limit 17, you know, then you know
it's all good. You only keep 3 anyways.
Better you than an alligator gar.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, gar's pretty good eating too, though.
Man, gar is good. Yeah, gar is good. People are real sensitive about those too, though. I've only eaten one gar in the last 5 years.
Yeah,
and it was delicious.
Many, but they're good.
Yeah.
Pretty
4-footer.
Pretty fish. Pretty meat. Yep.
Yeah.
So I mean, here we are. And what are we in? First week of August. You know.
Yep.
We still got all that wind, man. I mean, there's been a few mornings, like I said, there's been a few windows, but we haven't hit them doldrums like we normally hit. You know,
I think they're about to happen, man.
Think so?
I think the start this weekend is going to be the start of it. So we're going to get a lay down
maybe next week.
Well, maybe no. I think it might turn out to be an amazing week. Crossing fingers here, knocking on wood, but I'm starting to see a little bit of lay down.
Yeah.
So what's crazy is like this weekend is going to be sketchy. It's doable this weekend.
Yeah.
But it's 2.43s, right?
Yeah.
With some scattered rain. We're getting those funky little nearshore pop-up cells.
Yep.
Yeah, and those are the ones that ruin your day, man. Yeah.
They'll ruin your day.
They'll ruin everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you kind of have to be careful this weekend.
Oh yeah.
On top of just that, and I don't know, but I always, you know, I'm not going to complain about the rain because we do need it down here in Texas.
We do for sure.
But I always notice that whenever we get those near shore cells like that really start plummeting in, we always get some good laydowns after.
Yeah, we do.
You know, so I'm hoping that that's going to happen. We'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll end the year good. Maybe we'll get a late season of offshore because, man, honestly, Dustin, I've caught a king the first week of December before.
Oh yeah, we had some years where the surf temp was still in the 70s in December. And they're still out there.
It's possible. I mean, they're not obviously super thick. You know, it's just a random drive by on them. But
what's your guess on what, you know, as we transition to fall? You know, what should we look for? You know, coming in September, October, as we transition to the, you know, fall. What are you going to be kind of shifting gears to? You start chasing some more redfish, or
personally? Yeah. So I'm going to go deep into offshore.
Yeah.
This year. So it may. I'm going to ride it till I know that they're not there.
Right.
Which might hinder my transition into redfish trout, but. Yeah, I mean, once we get into that October, November, I'm going to be shifting a lot of different gears.
Yeah.
And definitely going after some of the reds. I can't remember last year if I went after those big old marsh reds that I like to do once a year. But I think I can't remember if I did.
They're everywhere over.
I'm talking. Right, well, I'm talking
35-inch plus, right?
No. I'm talking 45 to 50.
Oh, even that big. Okay.
Yeah. So I know where there's some that reside, and I have about 5 episodes of those.
Yes.
Actually, that's one of the ones that
when you were in the IFA.
The IFA. Yeah. So those they come in more often than what we think, but there's some marsh systems that hold them a little bit better than others. I think I'm really going to hit that this year. So I'm going to say, to answer your question, I'm going to go into some big reds this year and really kind of talk about it. And
that'd be cool.
And then really, because man, that's fun, dude.
Oh yeah.
It's like, you know, it's one thing when you hear reds, you know, in that slot range, and even
30 inches here,
30-inch, you know, 35.
They start getting over 40.
But once you get into that 45 to 50, and you see a red like that doing the same thing, man, dude, it really gets me going.
Yeah, there's a certain river in Gulf Shores. I'm not going to name it. To to not throw that out there, but there's a river. There's a lot of residential 40-inch plus redfish in that
Yeah,
river.
man. Yeah,
And
you've caught.
I've had the
Yeah,
awesome of
I've
catching
seen those
some
pictures.
big ones over there on crankbaits
Yeah, man.
and top water in a stump field. That,
Do they school up over there?
there'll be some in groups like little wolf packs here and there, but they're
Mhm.
mainly, singles and doubles. Nothing really big, giant schools of the big fish.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you can find them on your side scan pretty easily.
For sure, when they're that big. Oh
There's
yeah.
some nice sandbar sections and little flats off of the river bends and stuff, and you set up on them and find them, and mark them
Nice,
pretty
dude.
easily. Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
awesome, man. So
It's
yeah, I'm
pretty
gonna
cool catching them.
dabble into that, and then of course, I mean, you already know me, dude. Once we go winter,
Oh, yeah.
we're full-fledged trout
Yep.
fishing.
I got some surprises for them this year.
Good, man. I hope you get into some.
If people don't know Jeff Brown on Facebook, but he's been paid some killer glide baits, and he's always painted some killer jerk baits. The lipped ones. He shaves them down for when you can fish the flats. They'll run 1.5 feet or so, and then he has some that aren't changed around, and they'll run 4 to 6. He does some sweet custom paint jobs. There's definitely some good stuff out there. I caught a couple of big trout on them last winter, so I'm excited to continue dabbling in that stuff. Transitioning bigger swim baits and bigger glide baits from the bass side of things into the big speckled trout fishery, which a lot of people have started to dive in that too.
Yeah.
Been kind of keeping quiet about it the past 3-4 years, but it's all coming out now. So Chris over on Speckled Truth. He's got some stuff going on. He does some little how-to, little tactic videos lately. He's been sharing some stuff about, getting a lot of interest in people wanting to learn about the jerk baits and everything. So
it's
something we need to get together and film and throw some of that out there here. We'll find some spots that we can't give away too easily.
Oh no, I've got them, man. There's some areas that I know that I still to this day. I mean, people, I swear, there's a handful of guys that think I'm BSing them about it, but there's a lot of areas, man, that I've still to this day that I've never seen a boat hit.
Yeah.
Never seen a boat around. I've seen them get close, but I've never seen them around. So there's a lot of untouched stuff out there still. It's just, it's timing, dude, with trout. That's what I love about it. I mean, fishing is timing, period, right? But trout, for sure.
Oh yeah.
It's timing. It's they move a little bit more up and down the columns, and then there's some crazy little wacky variables with shallower water heating up, a little bit more than deeper water on certain time periods. Bait may get drawn there, so it changes that script.
Yep.
It's fun, and I'm glad that more people are doing it. I just hope that those guys appreciate it enough to where the conservation doesn't
continue,
hinder everybody else having fun with it,
Right.
Because trout are a special species, too. They really are, man. They're
once they get over 24, 25 inches, they're a different animal.
They are, man. They are, dude. Just like I was reading something recently with bass, some guy, I forget who it was quoting somebody who was a pretty well-known bass angler, said once they get over 4 pounds, 5 pounds, they become a different animal as well. It's they start growing in different directions. They don't have to worry about I guess maybe, I don't know, do birds go after bass when they're young?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The ospreys, eagles, different things, cormorants. Yeah.
Okay. Because that was something that was listed in that quote, and I was like, that's interesting, man. And I think the same goes for like how we're talking about trout.
Yes, for
Once
sure.
they get into that, they change. Their IQ changes too. So it's fun. Smarter. It's rewarding, and I'm happy that more guys are doing it, dude. I mean, a lot of people didn't do trout fishing because, well, first off, you remember that day, dude, when me and you were out there, and I think I caught like a 28er that day. And dude, I don't know about your hands, dude, but my hands were barely moving, dude.
Oh, it was cold.
It's tough, dude.
It was 28 degrees when we launched that morning.
Yeah, I mean,
I had a great day at some throughout the day. You had to burn out earlier. I remember you already out there when I got.
Yeah, I had to leave early that day. I got lucky in and around some structure, and was able to at least get one good one, and had to take off. But dude, that morning was no joke, and I think that's really the hardest part about trout fishing.
Oh yeah, you got to make some of the worst days you would think about fishing on. There's normally nobody else. There might be some other diehards out there, but 35-degree air temp with drizzle, and I'm out there in that crap.
It's tough.
That's diehard right there.
It's tough. That's why, man, I'm stoked for this year. That going back to where we opened up on the NRS gear, I've got this nice little bodysuit that I'm going to be using. And when that arrived, I was like, oh, you have no idea what you just did, man, because you're going to make me, dude, you're going to make me a lot more comfortable out there, because that was what I needed, man. That's what I love about NRS, too. They cater towards the little things that people don't think about.
Right.
Like the jackets and stuff and all that. You're paddling, and then you raise up your hand and you got 35-degree water trickle coming down your armpit.
Yeah.
Dude, you're going to feel that. But a lot of the stuff that they have, they
got the gaskets are sealed.
The gaskets, see everything's sealed, man. It's legit stuff, man.
The boots are awesome. The NRS boots that's my go-to winter footwear.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's good stuff. They're doing good things over there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely. Yeah. Definitely a great company to be associated, be partnered up with, man. That's a big deal right there.
Yeah. For sure.
So yeah, all right, we're gonna get into it's pick 3. We're gonna go offshore on this one.
Let's do
3
it.
setups. What are they gonna be? Rod, reel, and then what baits on it? Go ahead.
All 3?
Yeah, 3 of them. Give me 3 setups for offshore: rod, reel, bait.
Tsunami Trophy Series rod for offshore. I'm gonna say Tsunami. Gosh. Why did you have to pin me on that one?
Spinning or
the Forge 10s for the reels, lever drag.
Levers.
Yep. And what was the last one? What do I need to name?
Yeah. What baits are you going to be having?
Oh, baits. Oh, dude. Yeah. Kingfish rigs all day, dude.
Kingfish rigs.
Well, I should say, kingfish rigs, stinger rigs, however you want to classify them.
You put a teaser on them? Or you run
Not all the time.
Not all the time.
I would recommend doing it.
Yeah. And that's with ribbon fish.
Ribbon fish. You can also cut off and make short stock stingers and get real fancy on your dead bait presentation. That's an art form offshore, dude, by the way.
Yep.
You can't just slap on a bait and it work. Like, it's got to be positioned right. The bait's got to be fresh enough. So yeah, to answer that, yeah.
Any diamond jigs or any other things you might have on standby?
For jigging, I'm nonstop with the slim waves.
Something.
Just change out those
slim
hooks.
Waves. Change
stock hooks are no bueno.
Yeah.
Change them out to 4X.
Change them out, for sure.
Yeah.
on a lot of lures out there.
Yeah, I'm a big. Also, just to answer your rod. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place on this. The rods, I've always been a big fan of the Trophy Series offshore rods from Tsunami, dude. They come with everything that I want.
Yeah.
They're affordable also.
Right.
I try and there's some expensive stuff out there, man.
For sure.
And I try and use stuff that I would actually legitimately could afford and use.
Yeah.
And I think they make a great product. So, yeah.
Word. All right. We're up to the next round here.
Round 2.
Been doing this thing called the quick 5. It's just answer it and move along. All right.
Okay.
Redfish or trout?
Trout.
Texans or Cowboys?
Texans, dude. Come on, man.
Braid, tie into it, leader or no leader?
Leader.
All right. Wings, hot or sweet?
Hot.
Yep, spicy. All right. And then flats, potholes or back legs? Marsh.
Flats.
There you go. All right. There's a quick 5 with Castro. And with that, we'll wind down this episode here.
Wipe the sweat off, man. You got me all hot.
Got me all spicy. No doubt, man. But yeah, we'll wrap up this episode here. We'll save a little more for the next time we have Chris on. It's always a pleasure, having you on the show, dude.
Appreciate it, man. It's always fun chatting with you, dude.
Check out Chris's on social media, YouTube, Facebook, Next Level Fishing TV. Type that in your search bar and it will go to the right place. For sure. Definitely give him a follow on his subscribe to his YouTube channel, follow him on Instagram and the Facebook page, and you'll get all the updates and everything on there. Once again, thanks to all you viewers out there or listeners, if you're watching or listening on a podcast platform, we appreciate everybody that tunes in because this show wouldn't happen without you. And we thank y'all for everything. So, yeah, good stuff. We're going to sign out. So, yeah, thanks again, Chris. We appreciate everything, man.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you having on. And we are out. Paddle and Fin, chasing the tide. Sayonara.
Thanks for tuning in to another killer episode here on Paddle and Fin. Be sure to drop a 5-star rating, a thumbs up, or smash that subscribe button on any platform you're listening in on. Be sure to check us out on Waypoint TV, waypointtv.com. Make sure you sign up for the Fantasy Kayak Fishing League at paddleandfin.com/fantasy. You could support this show through Patreon, patreon.com/paddleandfin. Don't forget to check out the website, paddleandfin.com. Catch us on YouTube. If you got a question, comment, or want to see a future guest on the show, be sure to email us at paddleandfin@gmail.com. Shout out to our show supporters, Yak Gadget. You can check out all the fine kayak accessories at yakgadget.com. Pelican Professional. For all your cases, coolers, and lighting needs, go to pelican.com. Rocktown Adventures, your Midwest premier paddle sports destination. Go to rocktownadventures.com. Eastport Marina, the beautiful destination on Dale Hollow Lake. If you're looking for lodging, kayaks, kayak accessories, or anything fishing related on the beautiful Dale Hollow Lake, go to eastport.info. And Jigmasters Jigs. When in doubt, get the jig out. Go to jigmasters.com and fill your tackle boxes today.